Today we're going to make an onion egg. So what is needed? Onion and egg. In the egg, we've already put in a light soya sauce, and that's up to you how salty you like it. And also you can see that we put some sesame oil inside here, about 1 tablespoon worth, because it will really make this very nice. And then with the onions, it looks like there's a lot of onion and very little egg. But the idea is that you match the volume of the cooked onion once all the water leaves the onion to about the same proportion as the egg. So it will cover up nicely and it will be kind of like a very densely packed onion egg. And without further ado, let's get cooking. So the fire needs to be pretty hot, and that's quite a bit of oil just to make sure that the egg really doesn't stick. So once the oil starts to shimmer and you can see that the top surface is kind of shimmering, you can then throw in the onions. So the idea here is to cook the onions until the water sort of leaves. And you know when the onions are really well caramelized is when the smell, you can smell it, and it's very sweet smelling. So for now, just leave it to kind of fry, cook before you throw in the egg. So you can see some parts of the onions are already turning a bit brown. And it's up to you whether or not you want to go further, but I don't usually like to go beyond this point because otherwise the crunchiness of the onions are removed. So this is the time where you start beating the egg really violently just before you put it in. And the idea is to ensure that the eggs are very, very fluffy with a lot of air. And you just come in and properly cover everything. Don't worry if there's holes, the egg will fill it out by itself over time. You can also see that just before we drop the egg in, we had lowered the fire just a little bit. So now it's about low heat. Just now was about medium heat. So you don't want to overcook the egg as well, otherwise it turns black very quickly before you can flip it. So if you want a good flip, you need to make sure that you're cooking it slow so that more of the egg hardens before you actually turn it. And this is why the art here was to start with a lot of oil. It's not the healthiest thing to eat. So if you want to make the egg a little bit bigger, you can shift it around, push the egg to the side. You want to use a spatula that has a very wide base. The wider the base, the more egg you're able to flip. And there we are. If you work with low heat, it's very forgiving. You can afford to make some mistakes and then correct it, like right now. So don't start with too much heat on an egg omelette. So just go with low heat and then just let it cook.